some of you have asked, so I'm going to incorporate these answers in the class. That you are not returning the energy that you're giving to people, and that love and that generosity. So that's one thing. And I think simple answer for love is a fragrance, and it does not belong whether a person comes and smell it or don't smell it. It has to be something that is coming naturally from you in a more abundant place of yourself. Now, I can feel the same way because I also feel sometimes, okay, I have been there for these people, but when I needed it, that when I needed it comes from the ego. When I needed it, when I want it. So if you really goes into the deeper level of the practice, you will understand that essence of love is just something like it's blooming, it's blossoming. It has a seasons of fragrance, and whether it attracts someone or whether it does not attract the attention of someone or someone to create something special for it, that part doesn't belong to the fragrance that's coming up. It comes from a place of ego. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, most of you are finding very hard in workplace, returning back to the workplaces and stuff like that. Now, to answer that, the mind has a way of seeing the problems or the solutions. So if you're addressing a person with the problem part of the mind, you will only see the problems and the difficulties. That person is not regulating with the common things, or that person is not really looking to your part of the story. So you always will be bashing the difficulty in a wall. But if you approach the same person in a space of understanding and realization and a space of solution, you will see all the parts of the solutions. But it has to come through your realization. Now, saying that, I'm going to address these again and again and again and again. And the other thing is, I'm going to introduce you an asana called Mandukasana, the pose of a frog, which is very important for me to regulate my digestion and my pancreas and overall the health of the sex organs. So that posture I'm going to allow Darren to demonstrate, because I have never done the Mandukasana. I have done the variations of Vajrasana. And this posture is great if you can do before meals or early in the morning. And I will teach you, there is a particular gesture that you have to hold on the hands. So it's actually, if you don't see the camera properly, it is this thumb is folding to the last finger and then cover like that, and then holding the first finger above the navel, and very gently you massage the belly, and then I'll teach you the technique how you perform the Mandukasana. Mandukasana means the pose of a frog. So your body will have a shape of a frog, and this is very important to burn the excess fat around the belly and also to stimulate the liver, pancreas, and the spleen. So we will work on that. So saying that, very gently finding a great spot. So good to see you all, Karia, Melissa, Sylvia, Daryl's friend, Michelle, everybody. So Dr. Michelle, thank you for coming. Now very gently take a posture that is going to relax you, allow you to be in this space. Now there will be a thinking process if you're new to the practice, that you're going to compare the practice. Now the best place to stop that thinking is enter into the practice that you don't know anything. If you know something, that will be the problem, that you don't know something. So you're very tuned to listen, you're very tuned to be with it. Now very gently take a deep breath in and bring the palms onto the pranam position. So we are bringing that Ida and the Pingala Nadi, the male and the female energy of the body, into a place of settlement. Now take a deep breath in and chanting 3 ohms to vibrate. I do not know anything, but I'm coming into this space of realization, into the unknown. So take a deep breath in. Take a very deep breath in. Very gently raise the arms back to the crown. Cleanse the aura. Releasing the tension around and clearing the space for your practice. Gentle arch. Opening up the armpits, elbows pointing out. Lift up the base of the heart. Breath out, very gently twisting the spine to the left side. Stomach very gently pulled in. Stomach very gently pulled in. Take another deep breath while you're there. Roll the shoulders back and space the shoulders and reach onto that side that you're stretching. So for you, it's the left side. I'm just doing the right because I had a tightness on the right shoulder. Now take that deep breath in. Gently come back to the center. Change the leg formation. Soften the knees. Drop the hips a little bit more. Elevate each and every vertebra of the spine a bit more. Arms very gently raised back to the crown. Interlacing the fingers. Now very gently soften the lower ribs. You don't have to push that out too much. Engage the pelvic floor. Out breath turning onto the right side. Stomach pulling. Opening up that chest. Take another deep breath in. And empty the breath totally in the belly. Open up the chest. Very gently opening up on the left side. Breathing in back to the center. Shoulders relax. Allow that openness of the chest. And reminder, if a thought comes into the mind, do not entertain it. It will only come to the mind if you are doing a comparison and you're going back to your old story, or you're recycling the old story into a future excitement. And your present moment is nothing, then do not have anything added into it. So I'll change the direction of the camera towards Darren. So now take a deep breath in, very gently on the seated level, completely breathe out. We need these postures for the Mandukasana. Very gently, supple, and very gently release the tension of the spine, going into a cat pose while you're sitting. Curve the spine very gently. Now take that deep breath in. Shoulders relaxed and chest open, breathing into that space of the cow. Breathe out into the space of the cat. Very gently dropping your boundaries, dropping your identity. For a moment, you, as I say, abandoning your thoughts. That means the identity of yourself. Take a deep breath in into the vast space of the cow, the moment Shoulders roll back, tongue roll up onto the upper palate. For a moment, you have abandoned the space of what you know about yourself. Immediately, you have become vast, even of the limitation of the body. Breathe out into the space of the cat. Very gently releasing the tension, the story, the pain that we are clinging into the identity. That we are very protective of our accolades. We fight for them. We're ready even now in the world, you could see the die for it. This is not what I teach. Breathing in, shoulders roll back, opening up the chest, very gently coming into the space of that. Tongue roll up, releasing the tension that unconscious, the ego, the most full thing that is in the existence has created this energy of heat. Breathing in into a neutral spine. Now, when you're holding the neutral spine in the center, you can see without seeing things. Because now you have the presence of that awareness, the light. Now very gently take a deep breath in. Shoulders relax. Very gently stretch the legs into the front. Give it a good shake and release the tension. Bring that prana, the energy, is suddenly there in the body without that gloominess of the ego, fear of the ego. Now, with breathing, you're opening up the doorway, the windows which were closed in this body. Now take a deep breath in, pull out the buttocks, bend the knees slightly, arms raised onto the crown, very gently. Now elongate the spine a little bit more while pausing the breath. Now breathing out, reaching forward. You're just bringing that energy of the moment, and you have come connecting the connection, the unity between the mind and the body. Now, very gently, when you find the space that is comfortable for you, that very moment you bring the light into the space of your difficulty. At that very moment that the ego, which create all the problems, the difficulties, just become more of the light, more of the awareness, more of the unconditioned, more of loving. And breathing in that, out that fragrance, nothing to do with the relationship, nothing to do with your body. Just become for a moment of the fragrance of a flower, which you don't have to know whether somebody will recognize it or not. Spread that fragrance into the space of all the cells, into the valley of the cells. Let it all feel that peaks of this energy, reaching into that space that is difficulty, separation. Let this present moment be the perfume and the psychedelic of the practice. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Shoulders relaxed, chest open. Now very gently, preparation to the Vajrasana or to the pose of the diamond. Bringing the feet back so you can cross and stretch it like what Dasa is doing. So you're not sitting in the heels. If you really see, your toes are pointing towards each other. Your heels are all out. Your buttocks are coming into that space. Now, if you're doing in the grass, this is easy. But if you're doing in a hard pose, fold the blanket and put it under the feet like Dasa is doing, because your hamstrings might be tight, your thighs might be tight, and very gently roll side to side to see whether you will find a little bit comfort. Now, if you're doing the posture perfectly, knees have to be together. But if the knees are not coming today, that's fine. Now, very gently, you're taking that hand gesture that I asked you to take it in the start of the class. So the thumb is folded inward into the last finger, the small one, and there's a fist form. And now very gently bring that into the stomach and very gently give a good rotation with the pressure of those hands into the belly. Very gently, very gently. Become more aware of what you're doing. Connect into that space and bring that revelation into those organs, the spleen, the pancreas, all those connections of the kidneys, that moment. Now you can just bring them back and rub the kidneys in the back too, in the same way. Now this way, Dasa, you roll it back, shoulders open, throat open, and give a good rub to the kidneys. Bringing that same revelation. Now very gently bringing into the space of the belly. So the first knuckle is above the belly, but both hands are connected in that way, here, like that. Now take a deep breath in, open the throat, very gently breathe out, bend forward. Take another deep breath in, elongate the spine, breathe out, push the pressure into the belly, bit more, breathe out further. Now don't allow the buttocks to lift up. Breathing in again, elongate the spine, breathe out, drop again. Breathing in a bit more and breathe out, drop again. Breathe in, breathe out, drop again. Breathe in, breathe out, drop again. Now breath in and come back. That's fine. Come back. Now breathe in again and breathe out, drop. Breathing in, come back, breathe out, drop a little bit more further. Breathe in, come back. Breathe out, drop again. 7 times. Breathe in, come back. Breathe out, elongate the breath, go further. Out breath. Breathing in, come back. Breathe out furthermore. Breathing in, come back. Breathe out, drop the head onto the floor. Now with this breath out, you're just staying there, no more breathing. Now, if you want to breathe in, you just totally come back. Now breathe in, come back. Shoulders relax and chest open. Now just staying in this space, because you have worked on a lot of energy meridians. You have worked on the secret parts of the meridians, and you have motivated the unmotivated parts of the liver, the spleen, to transform your whole being into that energy. And become that energy is to become that space of understanding and realization. Nothing is no more needed. Now rest the hands on the thighs. So we are going to do this 3 times a day, and just check your blood sugar level if you are like me, having to go with that space of having high blood sugar, and bringing that consciousness. Of course, it's not going to heal you. You have to take your right medication and right food, and seeing your practitioners every now and then. It's very important to keep up with that space so that we don't have added things that we have to fight with. Now take a deep breath in, palm stretch onto the floor. Very gently walk into the front, and very gently coming into the space of the down face. Very gently allow the practice to open up the doors to the greatest journey, from the head to the toes. Take another couple of breaths, very gently to the heart, from the space of the logic to the space of the heart and its energy. Now let the practice come from knowing things to feeling. Now take a deep breath in, left leg up into the back, rotation to the left foot, left knee to the left chest, breathe out, come forward. Breath in, stretch back, left knee to the left elbow, breathe out, come forward. Stretch back, left knee to the right elbow, come forward. The space, breathing in, stretch back, left foot into the front, onto the floor, arms stretch into the back, interlacing the fingers, stretch that elbows a little bit more stretch, not bending, breathing in, arms rest onto the crown. Palms onto the namaskar position. Why the namaskar? The direction that you are, giving space not to your identity. So you become the mystic of the practice. And looking inside what's going on. And that's the greatest difference in the practice. Bend the knees, sit deeper, bring the hips into the same alignment. Your right hip is too much into the back. So very gently bring the left hip back. That's it, bend the knees, sit deeper. Now take a deep breath in, arms raised into the crown. Breath out, spread the wings widely, 6 deep cycles of breath. Breathing in, raising the energy up. Breath out, spreading the energy. This is the step to focus your whole effort, your whole being. Constantly you're creating a space of remembrance and putting your total energy into that. And allow this space to be the space without the identity, without your story. Now very gently take a deep breath in, palms onto the namaskar position. Now bend the knee, sit deeper. Alignment is important. If you don't have a difficulty in that body, take a deep breath in, turn into the right side. Palms onto the pranam position. Breath out, bend the knee, twist the spine to the left side. Elbow past the knee. Now, uncomfort will come. Open the shoulder, open the chest. Now, right arm reaching down, left arm reaching up. Clench and unclench. Now, this is very good after working on the pancreas and the spleen and the liver and creating those hormones, secretion. Don't rush into the space. Just allow the space and enjoy the space. Great. Left arm reaching into the back and touch the floor. Lengthening to look up, drop the back knee onto the floor, holding onto the front knee. Shoulders relax and chest open. Palms onto the Namaskar position. Just trust that moment. You don't have to feel anything into this moment. Now, very gently, it's not about what life has taken from you. Imagine the things that happened to you without you even thought about it. That's something that never bothered about a result, but it just happened to be there. And enjoy that trust. Not being greedy about anything, not being ambitious about anything. Now breathing in, arms rest onto the ground. Now spread the wings onto the shoulder heights. Now right arm above the left into the Garudasana. Very gently allow the thumb to subtly touch the third eye. And very gently take that space on the Chitakasha. And very gently observation of the transformation. Learning to breathe, learning to become being patient, which is the whole humanity has forgotten. Everyone is in such a speed, whether it's internet, whether it's a response from a text. Everybody is in this space of being wanted to happen quickly. What happened to the other element that lets things happen? So this instant gratification has given you a lot of things which are not healthy for you. And you know about that. I don't have to go into that details. Breath in, spread the wings wider. And turn onto the Garudasana while sitting onto the right. And to the Virabhadrasana, the warrior pose. Now very gently, your shoulders are not on the same alignment. So very gently bring the both shoulders and arms onto the same alignment. So you can look at and see which arm is dropped. And very gently creating a mudra on the left hand. Now very gently take a deep breath in and lengthen to arch backwards. So you can touch the back heel, back thigh, wherever the posture is leading you into. Approach the practice with your patience. And if the patience is not enough for you today, infinite patience. And very gently coming back. Elbow onto the knee. Right arm roll back and right arm sit on the right hip. When you're ready, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Now very gently take the posture into that deep, deep, deep place of seating, resting. So it's not concentrating. It is a relaxation. Right arm reaching into the front, touch the floor. Left arm reaching down into a plank. Strong on the pelvic floor, breathing in. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in, drop the knees. Stretch the spine into the back. Palms facing up just for a few seconds into that restful space. When you're utterly relaxed, you're just enjoying the moment of the reality. You have taken the posture into the alignment of being. You are so in that deep rest, you no longer see the identity or the formation of yourself. You have stopped the activity of work, activity of the role, activity of the past, activity of the future. And each breath is a beginning of the being. Beginning of being in the space of rest. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Chest. Take a deep breath in, drop the belly onto the floor. Soften the hips. Breathing in into a gentle Bhujangasana. Now, very gently in this space of the rest, allow that inner energy to raise its vibration. Remain restful with the breathing. Deep Ujjayi Pranayama. Breathing in, overlooking onto the left side. Breathing in back to the center. Breathe out, overlooking to the right. Breathing back to the center. Onto the knees. Onto the down face. Breathing in, right foot into the back. Right knee onto the chest. Breathing in, stretch back. Right knee to the right elbow. Breathing in, stretch back. Right knee onto the left elbow. Breathing in, stretch back. Right foot into the front. Try not to cling onto the mat. Try to be on the space of floating. If the life is an ocean, try to float on it, not to drown on it. Arms stretched into the back, interlacing the fingers. Arms raised onto the ground. Sit deeper. Palms onto the Namaskar position. I'm just bringing you back into the alignment of the Ida and the Pingala Nadi, male and the female energy. So the second it's that it happens, the grace happens. Because if you're practicing from a space, you might see something in the existence, outer and inner, much more clearer and in clarity. Allow that space of sacred holiness enter into the practice. Breathing in, bend the knees, sit deeper. Bring that right knee. Bring that alignment of the hips as much as you can. Most of your right hip is too much into the front. So very gently pull it back. Arms raised onto the ground. 6 deep cycles of breath. Bringing the range of the beauty of the prana into the space of what you're doing. Observe the mind that goes finding opposition, finding negativity, finding the difficulty, and constantly it is a tool that cannot smell that space of the fragrance. Breathe. Palms onto the namaskar position. Take a deep breath in. Turn to the left. Onto the namaskar position. If you have missed something and your consciousness is reminding you, not the wound, but the blessings. That's what I say. Don't see the difficulty of the person, see the solution of the person. Don't see the difficulty of the world, see the solution of the world. Because otherwise you may be missing the blessings. And that's the way of the mind. And most people live life after in the mind. The moment you are in this practice, it is a reminder. Twist the spine to the right side, elbows past the knee. Now this is great because we have worked on the spleen, we have worked on the pancreas, we have worked on the kidneys. Now very gently, let's give them some energy. Left arm reaching down, right arm reaching up. Take that deep, quiet breath, deep, relaxed breath, deep seated place of rested, receiving the breath of the being. Releasing the out breath of the being. You become more aware of the beauty of that space, beauty of the practice. Right, reaching into the back, touch the floor. Take a deep breath in, push the hips into the front, elongate the back of the head a little bit more. Drop the knee onto the floor. Holding onto the front knee. Take a deep breath in. Arms stretch up to the ceiling. Drop the arms onto the shoulder heights. Garudasana, right on the top. Take a deep breath. Very gently, your thumb is touching the space of the Chidakasa, the godliness. Now the difficulty is a great sacredness. Nothing is empty of that godliness, gracefulness, sacredness, the nature. And once you are now in the practice is experiencing these dimensions that are nourishing you, not only the food itself, not only the water itself, not only the healthy body itself, but every cell is vibrating with that Turiya, the poetry, the music, the dance, the celebration. Now the outcome of this celebration is love. Take a deep breath in. Spread the wings wider. Palms onto the floor. Very gently. Holding onto the front knee again. Just to release the posture, I took that pose so that you are not in the space of mechanically doing the posture. Now very gently turn to the left and open up the space, arms onto shoulder heights. Very gently arch into the back. Right, reaching into the space of the grace arising in your being. And the space is radiating. Breathing in, gently coming back, elbow onto the knee. Left arm roll back into the sacrum. Just keep that space radiating. Unless there is a difficulty in your body and you are going to take something different than that. But whatever you do, observe the space. Left reaching up to the ceiling, into the front, touch the floor, into a plank, strong on the pelvic floor. Drop the knees and stretch the spine. Breathing in, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Drop the belly, breathing in into up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Now very gently left knee onto the floor. Very gently right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Right foot in angle. Take a deep breath in and open up the shoulder blades. Elongate those arms. Very gently allow the breath to bring that space of openness. Breathing in through your right nostril and breathing out through your left nostril. Breathing in through your left nostril into the third eye, out through right. Let that breath in to open up that innermost core, innermost growth, and transform all that potential into actuality when you have really become the being. You have totally come into the space of life, right? Reaching into the back, touch the floor. Drop the knee. Very gently breathe out into the space of the cat. Breathing in into the space of the cow. Shoulders roll back. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Neutral spine. Give a good rotation to the hips. Create that space of the growth in the space of the spleen, digestion, spleen, pancreas. Onto the other side. Take a deep breath in, push the hips into the front. Breathe out, stretch the bum into the heels, palms facing up. At this very moment, observe the gift of life as a gift of your new sight, as a gift of your space of the birth that you have given to your consciousness. And allow those chakras consciously, Muladhara, navel, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, to open like lotuses with the sacredness of energy, flowering of the beauty and blooming in you. Samadhi, Satori, ultimate ecstasy of the yoga. Palms facing down onto the knees into a neutral space of a cat. Left leg stretching to the back. Left arm reaching into the front up to the ceiling. Observe the breath coming through the left nostril into the third eye, out through the right nostril. Breathing in through the right into the third eye, out through the left. Allow the breath to be the fragrance. Fragrance is released, fragrance is captured. Fragrance is the space of the bliss, understanding of the peace, celebrating the moment, has come into the fulfillment. Left arm reaching into the back and touch the floor. Drop the knee completely. Now take a deep breath in, push the hips onto the side to side, into the front and into the back. Now take a deep breath in, back into a neutral space of the cat. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench, right reaching under the left armpit. Drop as much as possible. Either left arm can reach up to the ceiling or reach into the front of the floor, whatever is comfortable. And now soften the buttocks to drop as much as possible and keep this realization that is content and it is not running behind words, language, knowledge. And imagine that in an energy level, all the wisdom is poured into you. Whether it's fine words or not, it doesn't matter. Imagine this posture is being held and held in that contribution. Now, whatever you're going to take from this space is the act of creativity, act of godliness, and content. That is what the success is. Not monitoring the finances and the forms, but the space is filled with this importance. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Breathe out into a gentle cat. Breathing in into a gentle space of the cow. Neutral spine. Left arm reaching into the front up to the ceiling. Create the space. Needling through the right armpit. Dropping the shoulder blades. And opening up that space and stretching the right arm up to the ceiling, up to the front. Wherever it is for you. Now create the space of the light into the pose. And condition of the pose. create that space that you have come into the realization without the demand. Demand the body has to be what it was, will further destroy it. Demand the relationship has to be what it was, will destroy the relationship. Demands of what wealth should be will destroy it, because it attached conditions. When there are conditions, there is no more for realization, no more for love, no more for wealth, no more for health. It has turned into the opposition, a game, a lust, a power trip. But the ways that you are in remain pure, untouched. It's godly, without the boundaries. Let it remain. You don't have to dress it, to show it in your car, show it in your clothing. Just as the body needs to breathe, it is its life. The soul also needs that space of the truth. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Give a good rotation to release any tension. Breathing in that infinity. Breathing in that body is open. Mind is open. Onto the other side. Push the hips into the front. Push the hips into the back, into the child pose. In essence of a child, that's what is really meant by God's realization. It is that space of love, space of joy, space of light, space of peace, realization, and nothing else. Very gently waking up the spine one vertebra at a time. Now it's very strange. Surrender into the space of the heart is the space of the victory. Not that heart needs a victory. Because real truth is the space of surrender. Surrender brings victory, even into the moment. Palms onto the Namaskar position of this realization when you have gained something of immortality. Now the practice has given you a glimpse of immortality because it has opened you the first window beyond death, first window beyond your difficulty. It gives you arms raised onto the crown, cleansing the space and the aura, and bringing that space into the space of the difficulty if you have in one, whether it's health, wealth, or relationship, or whatever political. Very gently creating the space of the protection of the crown that it will realize the truth beyond words. Third eye, throat, and your voice And your communication will come through that realization, not just the mind and its suffocation. Heart, solar plexus, navel, Muladhara. Arms raised back to the crown, cleansing the aura. Palms onto the Namaskar position. Chanting a single prayer of Om Shanti 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 Om. Peace into this space of your realization that you have aligned. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently coming into the space of the practice and then opening that to the space of the activity today from the space of the practice. Namaste. So, namaste to everybody, and good to see you, Daryl, Rebecca, friend, and your beautiful son. All of you, great. Okay, good to see thumbs up, great. Sylvia and Sylvia's lovely pets. Karya, Yoga Warriors, Melissa and Dr. Michelle. So it's a fantastic practice, but it was a deeper practice. So we wanted practice not to just portray just the asana pranayama, but we also want to take into the dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So that's why we have taken you into these poses. So please do share these classes, and it's easy if you comment about your classes on the YouTube channel, because then otherwise I have to read your text, emails, plus all the YouTube work. So that will give me a chance to address what kind of class that I should prepare for the week. So thank you for all the support, and the class is free, and I can see 833 subscribers have come within that 3 months, so which is great. And so yes, use that platform also to promote whatever is there for you guys, also for the community. Please do write your teachers, businesses, and all that. And I don't know where it's going to lead. I got no idea. It's a free channel, and I'm glad it is being respected. And it will, like a fruit, it will do its service, and it will fall when it times to fall. That's a part of life. My love and big hugs to you all, and I'll see you soon.